Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for joining our latest Tech Talk Tuesday. We're pleased to be continuing our theme of Tech Talks, and we've not got Edward Titley on today, just filling in for him. My name's Greg Butcher, and our topic today is rethinking infrastructure, stability and security. So we're keen to address this topic. Tech Talk's only a very brief technical overview of some of our products and how they are used in the marketplace. So this particular Tech Talk deals specifically with the SecurEX product range and how it's utilized in infrastructure. So we're keen to kick off. We'll do a little bit of housekeeping firstly, and then jump right into it. Take a few questions at the end. Only meant to be brief, so we'll limit it to a quarter of an hour or so to do with a bit of housekeeping. We're only talking in generalities here in terms of standards and how they can be interpreted and utilized in design, but with a bit of that in mind, we just want to look today at the SecurEX FRP Fencing and Screening product ranges and how they can be utilized within infrastructure applications. Typically, they're a product of choice. The FRP screens and fencing solutions are a product of choice where conductivity and corrosion present challenges. So that might be in areas where there's stray current or electrification concerns or earthing and bonding or corrosion. So it might be proximity to coast or ice-salinity areas and so on. But the product range is not only fencing and screening, but also includes gates and complete security arrangements as well in terms of razor wire and barbed wire additions. So a bit of an overview of where we have used the product in the past. It's been used across various different rail infrastructure, substations, other critical infrastructure and perimeter fencing for those applications. And you can see that got it here on screen, got the actual SecurEX product with razor wire hoops, and then also with the RailX FRP round hand railing in front of it. So oftentimes it'll be coupled together with the RailX system, which we're not talking about in the session today. But it's an alternative, in effect, to conventional metallic fencing systems, and it overcomes the complexities of dealing with corrosion and/or earthing and bonding or other electrical and conductivity requirements. So that's the benefit that the composite or FRP fiberglass reinforced plastic construction of the product brings. So you might ask the question of why infrastructure owners would reconsider a different material selection. As we've already touched on, you've got electrical safety advantages that can be capitalized on. Obviously, as a result, you minimize risk and exposure of operators and the public to electrical and safety concerns. In speaking to a number of rail operators, we have alleviated issues where you've got stray current concerns, cropping up left, right, and center, results of age-old infrastructure and anything metallic, whether it be posts or rails, just exacerbates the issue. So going for a complete composite solution just completely removes that risk factor in terms of electrical safety. In terms of security and compliance, it's a very effective perimeter protection solution. It's designed to meet all project and operational requirements, or it can be, I should say. And we can design to whatever wind loading performance criteria are shared with us typically, particularly if there are requirements within 1170. We're very familiar with it. We've got a fully fledged in-house design and engineering team, very well versed in 1170 and other appropriate standards. So the other aspect as a consideration is the durability and life cycle value. So the whole of life cost of the product is typically quite low when compared to other metallic or timber style security fencing alternatives, particularly because you don't need so much maintenance or upkeep. So it's effectively a zero maintenance solution, essentially maintenance free, really. There may be some maintenance required from time to time, but typically the product has a up to a 100-year design life, dependent on the specific requirements and applications. So fencing and screening options that are available within the SecurEX range are relatively broad. We've got the FRP Palisade panel product range, which, as you can see in the photo on the slide here, got a typical post rail and then a Palisade picket style arrangement, customizable spacings of the pickets, and security fasteners can be incorporated into the design, so it's completely anti-climb and can be designed to most wind load applications. Has great performance in terms of cyclonic loading, generally speaking, and typically used in rail corridors and associated electrical applications within the rail space. Then we have the mesh panel SecurEX product. So there's effectively three different styles here, and they all relate to the opening size of the mesh. So the standard mesh typically has a 25 millimeter, approximately a 25 millimeter opening. The mini mesh, approximately 12 millimeter opening, and the micro mesh is smaller opening, again at around 6 mil opening. So that's really just different options depending on what the site-specific requirements are, depending on proximity to the infrastructure you're securing, and depending on other factors such as what the wind loading might be or what anti-climbing requirements might be, etc. So we've seen the product used in a lot of different applications other than rail, but they typically always have some corrosion resistance or electrical or conductivity requirement to them. So a couple of photos here you can see on the left here, you've got got a rectangular mesh type profile, a couple of gates there, and then on the right we've got a mini mesh type profile, so a fairly solid looking screen compared to the relatively open rectangular mesh. We also do a solid panel fencing, so obviously great solution if you're trying to provide a complete block out. Certainly has a different aspect to it when you're designing around wind loadings, as it attracts more load, but great for areas where you're looking for complete privacy and where you're looking for a product that is completely composite. So it can also be utilized for specific acoustic requirements as well. And then, as we mentioned earlier, or as I alluded to earlier, the product can be designed to incorporate razor hoop and barbed wire to enhance the safety the product offers, particularly when you're looking at this against a cyclone mesh type application or a galvanized or aluminium palisade style arrangement. Not a lot of difference in terms of how to mount it, etc. So it can certainly be adapted and incorporated into the design. Sliding gates are another factor that's certainly been considered and done before. So you see the substation here in the photo, complete sliding gate arrangement. and with a mesh infill, so more than able to be done, and yeah, some quite rewarding outcomes with sliding gates in the past. We also do a full range of swing gates. So as you can see, these are palisade swing gates here. Completely composite structure with some metallic componentry, and yeah, just completely remove the electrical conductivity factor in the design piece here in this rail corridor. So the posts and the rails are typically from our family of ArchitectX FRP structural sections, provide excellent durability. They're produced using the pultrusion manufacturing method, so they've got a very high glass content, very very good performance in terms of strength. All of the details on the different members that are available can be viewed in the ArchitectX product guide or in our complete catalog that's available online. I'm more than happy to speak with anyone directly about any specific requirements they may have. But the full suite of ArchitectX products are fully FRP. They're available in a range of different resin systems, so depending on what your actual requirements are and whether you've got potential exposure to things like acid, we can select a more corrosion resistant resin system, and they're obviously all completely non-conductive and RF transparent as well. So a bit about the non-conductivity aspect of the product. Obviously there's many and varied requirements for electrical earthing and bonding throughout rail infrastructure. This completely alleviates that requirement and helps to reduce your project costs. Sometimes earthing and bonding in infrastructure such as perimeter security can add up to as much as the actual fence requirements add up to. So it certainly has its cost advantages, and oftentimes can completely eliminate that need. So metallic products, yeah, as we've been saying, you've got transfer and touch and step potential. You've got to involve additional layers of personnel and professions to get the design done. Whereas with the FRP product, you essentially remove that need completely and really simplify the requirement completely as well, because it doesn't carry the same risks or design requirements. A little bit about 1170 in the design. So throughout Australia and New Zealand, standard that applies structurally typically to a fencing or security perimeter fence would be 1170 in terms of structural loadings and wind loadings and the like. And as I alluded to earlier, Treadwell's in-house design team can absolutely design, has done, and continues to design to 1170, depending on a whole host of different variable factors such as heights, different cyclonic or wind loading areas of the geography, and different terrain and different exposure conditions as well. So they certainly help with most, if not all, requirements that may arise. And then different wind loading can also be taken into account and considered for as well, with the different options in terms of the actual fence structure, whether it be mesh or palisade, pickets, or just whatever the project specific requirements are. So that's in effect a very brief presentation presented. Happy to take some questions as and when they come in. Looks like we've got one particular question here with regard to end of life and whether the product's recycled. So great question there. The product is not recycled in its entirety. There is a portion of product that carries recycled content, typically compared with a product like recycled plastic as opposed to FRP. It's very different. It doesn't carry near as much recycled content. And whilst there is a small portion that can be recycled back into new FRP as a filler of sorts, there's not a huge portion that can be, but at the same time it has a very long whole of life. So we're talking about 100-year design lives for these products, as opposed to fencing where you might get a 25-year design life out of metal, such as galvanized or aluminium. Make it slightly longer. With timber, you'll probably get less again than that lifespan. So whole of life, it certainly is quite effective, and yeah, we do have a portion of it that can be recycled, but not completely recyclable per se. I trust that answers that question. I'll just give it a moment more for any other questions that do come in. But just one other point to note, and we'll happily circulate this article as a takeaway from this. There is what we call a green white paper available on our website. So that can be consulted and viewed if anyone does have any further questions about the whole of life aspect or the recyclable aspect of the products that Treadwell offer. I think that wraps up the presentation for today. Thank you very much to everyone that joined. Appreciate your time. Bye for now.